should I buy meme coins now? And how do I go about finding which ones to buy? And how much money should I invest in these types of meme coin transactions? That's what I want to talk about today on Crypto Intel. My name is Max. Let's get started. So, first of all, is it time to buy meme coins? Well, if we look at the Bitcoin chart, we can see that we've now surpassed the all-time high, and we've closed a daily candle above the all-time high. We're still in a parabolic uptrend here on Bitcoin, and as I've said before in the past, this is new. This is the first time in a halving cycle that we've surpassed the all-time high before the halving. So usually what happens when we surpass the all-time high, that is when, and if Bitcoin starts to level out a little bit about here, that is when Ethereum and the rest of the altcoins will start to move in a lot more aggressive manner. And if we look at total 3, you can see that we are moving quite aggressively up, even with total 3, which is just the altcoins, not Bitcoin and Ethereum. So how do you go about trading meme coins? Now, meme coins is one of the narratives in this cycle that's very strong. People are making a lot of money. It's easy to get, FOMO, fear of missing out. When you see people on YouTube talking about 100x returns. So how do you go about participating in this in a safe and reasonable way? Well, let's talk about that today. This is how I usually approach it. So what I first do is go to something like CoinGecko, or you can go to Masari, any one of these aggregators of information. And what I do is I go to the cryptocurrencies tab. I click on categories right here, and then what I do, you can pick a category. They have just memes as a category, but it's fairly big. I like to kind of narrow it down a little bit. So I'm going to go down here, and I'm going to pick meme coins that are in the Solana ecosystem. I like Solana. I think it's one of the big trades coming up, and so let me see if I can find it. Here it is, Solana meme coins. Now, once you get to this list of meme coins that you want to look at, what we're trying to do here, this is not an investment, these meme coins. Meme coins are a trade. Can be from a few days to a few months, but they are something that we're going to get out of. At least that's how I approach it. If I make a good return, 2, 3x, 10x, even more, I'm going to make sure that I scale out of these, and I'm going to show you that in a little bit. But how do you look at them? Well, let's just take a look at these meme coins that are on the Solana ecosystem. And you can see there isn't that many of them. There's maybe 20 or so, 30. Right here, these are going to be categorized by market cap. And you can see here that the higher the market cap, the more, quote, safer it is. So something like Bonk, which has just about a $2 billion market cap, that's been around for a while. That's pretty safe. You're probably not going to get rug pulled. You're not going to lose your money on this. But on the other hand, for it to do a 10x, it would have to go up to 100, 200 billion. That's pretty high for I'm sorry, 10 to 20 billion. But that's still pretty high for a meme coin to do. So if you want to have less risk, I would go with the ones that have the higher market cap. If you want to have more risk, take the smaller ones. So let's take a look at some of the smaller ones. And what do I look for? Well, again, we're going to use technical analysis to understand when to get into these meme coins, okay? It isn't really a fundamental play. It isn't really something we're going to look at, well, what's the use case, and what are the who's involved in this and so forth. What we want to do is find meme coins that, from a technical analysis viewpoint, are going to give us a good uptrend. So what I look for is a couple things. One is if they're moving kind of sideways, and you can see here, if you look right here, This one is moving kind of sideways, and you can see that it's close. It could be close to where it would break a resistance line, and that is usually a good entry point. Or you can look at something that has gone up and then has retraced like this. So let's take a look at a couple of these just to see how I would approach buying them. Okay, so let me go back. Let's take a look at first. Let's take a look at Salama, and let me go over here. Okay, now this one, Salama, you can see if we draw some lines here, this is where it broke out, and you can see it has a nice run. I mean, this thing has already been up, 2,000%. It's already done a 20x, right? So this one is one that I wouldn't necessarily be wanting to get in now, but if it retraces back, you see it's going sideways now. But if it would retrace back to, say, the sweet zone, which if you draw a fib retracement from the bottom, from when it broke out to the top where it is now, where it's trending now, you see, if it gets down into this 618 area between 0.5 and 618, that would be a time to enter into this one. So this one I wouldn't do. Let's go back and look at another one. Okay, let's look at, I think Bonk might be a good one. Now, again, this is going to be less risk and something that is not going to go up like 100x. But you can look at Bonk, and you can see here, again, there's a very clear line right here where it broke through and it's come back and retesting this breakthrough line. So this would be one that you can enter in here. Now, how do you know? Let's say you do want to enter it because it's right on. It's going past the resistance, coming back and testing it. Now it could break through resistance and go down lower, or it could from here spike up again. So this might be one I would trade. Now I would draw a line. Where is the lower resistance? And that will be right here. You have at least 3 touches. You have a good amount of touches. Now it's at or near price discovery, which means that we have nothing to go by to know when to go out. So when I do that, when I see that, what I like to do is I like to get a range from where the low was to where it broke resistance. I put that on top here like this, and now I have somewhere to shoot for. So I can get my long tool. I can, let's say we buy it here. Where do we put our stop? And with meme coins, it's important to do that. So it's going to be at the previous pivot low, which would be right about here. So I will put that right about here, a little bit lower maybe. And we can see that if we go up as far as we did in with the last break, that will be 18-1. Now, you might not want to put it that high, but you can see that even if we go halfway or go back to the high that it was before, that's a 6-to-1 ratio. That's pretty good. So you can lose 10% on this, but you can gain 60%. So this would be how I would play the altcoins. Now, if it gets up to here, I might take off 50%. I might take out my initial capital and then let it ride. See if it'll go up to the demarcation right here. So this is how I would play meme coins, and the way to do it, I think, is to look for good setups. Just like anything in crypto, if you have the right kind of setup, then with a good risk adjusted return, and this is good. You can lose 10%. You put in whatever, you can lose 10%, but you can gain 30, 40, 50, 60% on this meme coin. So that's all for today. That's how I look at meme coins. It is a good time to start looking at these. Pick your favorite one, get a good entry. Make sure that you use a stop loss, so that, because these are very volatile, make sure you use a stop loss, and you can take it from there. Please, if you like the content, give us a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.